December of 2021, more than 5,000 startups were founded in Delhi NCR as the top 10 Delhi NCR startups, which we're going to be talking about right after this. Starting things off at number 10, we have Gurugram-based logistics unit. See, on average, Indian truck drivers spend 12 hours a day on the road, and these long hours can be dangerous. It isn't unusual strategically placed pit stops, allowing 95% of these drivers to return home to their families every day. These truck drivers are happier and healthier, and Rivigo's trucks are always on the road. They're never stopped while the driver sleeps, meaning that Rivigo's customers are getting their orders faster than anyone else in the business. In the financial year of 2020, Rivigo brought in revenue totaling 1,080 crore rupees at a loss of 542 crore rupees. And this burn was made possible by their investors, who have poured $268.7 million into the startup so far, valuing them at $1.1 billion in 2019. Next up at number 9, we have New Delhi-based Thrasio-style D2C house of brand startup GlobalBees. Founded by Edelweiss's former president Nitin Agarwal and FirstCry's co-founder Subham Maheshwari in 2021, GlobalBees invests in and acquires D2C brands that they believe have massive growth potential. GlobalBees then uses their own expertise to help these brands scale their businesses, turning them into highly successful portfolio companies. So far, GlobalBees has acquired at least 12 brands, and in the next 3 years they're planning to acquire more than 100. After seeing the success of Thrasio in the United States, GlobalBees is confident that they'll be able to replicate this model in India and will eventually build a successful and profitable business. And their investors are on board with this vision too. They've already poured $290.7 million into GlobalBees, making them a unicorn valued at $1.1 billion in just 7 months. Moving on to number 8 now, we have Gurugram-based D2C toxin-free personal care brand Mamaearth. After becoming parents, Ghazal and Varun Alag were surprised to see that most of the baby care products on the market contain toxic chemicals like parabens and sulfates. After talking to other parents, they realized that everybody was facing this problem, but so far there weren't any great solutions or alternative toxin-free products available. So they decided to launch Mamaearth as a toxin-free baby care brand, starting with just 6 products in 2016. Today, Mamaearth has a large product portfolio of more than 80 toxin-free and natural products across multiple categories. And while baby products are still their specialty, they do make plenty of products for adults as well, for both women and men. Recently, they've also managed to grow their revenues considerably, reaching 461 crore rupees in the financial year of 2021 from 109.8 crore rupees in the financial year of 2020. And the best part is that Mamaearth is profitable. In the financial year of 2021, they brought in profits totaling 24.6 crore rupees. So far, their investors have pumped $110.8 million into the startup, making them India's first unicorn of 2022 at a $1.2 billion valuation. Coming in at number 7 now, we have Gurugram-based healthcare startup Pristine Care. Founded by Garima Saumi, Harsimabir Singh, and Vaibhav Kapoor in 2018, Pristine Care is trying to innovate in India's fragmented healthcare market. They're focusing on the surgery space specifically by partnering with around 500 hospitals and clinics. Pristine Care handles a patient's entire healthcare journey, from doorstep pickup and drop, finding them the right doctor, completing hospital paperwork, getting a diagnosis and submitting insurance documents, and then finally post-surgery recovery and home delivery of medicine. And Pristine Care is also following an asset-light model. Instead of owning physical assets, their partnerships with hospitals allow them to rent out medical infrastructure like idle beds, operating rooms, and ICUs, making their business highly scalable. Over the last 3 years, Pristine Care has been able to perform 40,000 surgeries across more than 30 cities. And now the startup is looking to expand and replicate their success across India. To help them do this, their investors have poured $177 million into the startup at a $1.4 billion valuation. Next up at number 6, we have Gurugram-based full-stack used car retailing platform Spinny. Founded by Ganesh Pawar, Mohit Gupta, Niraj Singh, and Ramanshu Mahor in 2015, Spinny started as an online classifieds platform for buying and selling used cars. However, they soon realized that by putting control over the quality of the cars into the hands of the sellers, the customer experience on their platform was suffering for buyers. And this is why in 2017 they moved from a classifieds model to a full-stack model, where they started buying cars directly from sellers after evaluating the quality of the car. Then they'll fix the car up, put it through a bunch of tests, and sell it to buyers with full transparency around prior usage, wear and tear, and any defects. In other words, they're bringing a much-needed customer-centric approach to India's used car space. And they didn't want to raise any outside investment before they'd achieved product market fit, which is why they only raised funds in 2017. So far, Spinny has sold over 10,000 used cars, bringing their annual revenue run rate to around $150 million. They're also expecting their ARR to cross $300 million by the end of this year, 2022, and to date, their investors have poured $513.5 million into the startup, at a $1.8 billion valuation. Moving on to number 5 now, we have Gurugram-based home services marketplace Urban Company. Back in early 2014, two friends named Abhiraj Singhbal and Varun Kaitan were giving entrepreneurship a shot with a startup called Cinemabox, an on-demand movie streaming platform. Their friend Raghav Chandra was doing the same thing, building Buggy.in, an auto rickshaw sharing platform. Abhiraj and Varun tried to get Raghav to join their startup, and Raghav tried to get them to join his startup. Ultimately though, within 6 months of operations, both startups failed, and so they all decided to come together to start Urban Company, then called Urban Clap. This platform offers on-demand home services to their customers and has more than 30,000 partners working for them around the world. They brought in 289 crore rupees in revenue in the financial year of 2021 at a loss of 249 crore rupees during that same time period. They've been able to sustain this burn thanks to the $445.9 million that their investors have poured into the startup at a $2.8 billion valuation. Coming in at number 4 now, we have New Delhi-based fintech startup BharatPe. Up until 2018, accepting digital payments in India was a hassle for offline merchants. They either had to pay a commission to payment gateway companies and POS providers, or use multiple QR codes to accept payments from different payment companies like Paytm, Google Pay, and PhonePe. And this hassle resulted in a lot of merchants just choosing to accept cash only. But in 2018, Ashnya Grover joined Bhavi Kumar Koladia and Shashwat Nakrani to build BharatPe, a solution to the problems that merchants had been facing. By leveraging India's unified payments interface, they were able to launch an interoperable UPI-based QR code, allowing merchants to accept UPI payments from any digital payments provider. And the best part is that they didn't have to pay any commission for accepting these payments. In just 3 years, BharatPe has heavily disrupted India's digital payment space, with more than 7.5 million merchants using the platform. Now, BharatPe has also entered into the lending space, and they've also obtained a banking license by acquiring PMC Bank. To date, their investors have poured $700.5 million into the startup at a $2.85 billion valuation. Next up at number 3, we have India's first used car unicorn, Cars24. Founded by Gajendra Jangid, Mehul Agarwal, Ruchit Agarwal, and Vikram Chopra in Gurugram in 2015, Cars24 was created to organize the highly fragmented used car market in India. They did this by making it easy for customers to sell used cars on their platform. Cars24 inspects the vehicle, settles on a fair price, and then handles the documentation all in less than an hour. And instead of buying the car from the seller first and then selling it to the buyer the way that Spinny does, Cars24 instead puts the car on their online auction platform after completing due diligence. Cars24 acts as a middleman between buyer and seller, rather than being the buyer and seller like Spinny. Now, Cars24 did come a little bit late. There were already platforms like CarDeco, CarTrade, and Dhroom competing with each other for market share. But Cars24 knew that India's used car market was growing rapidly, and there was still space for new market entrants. Even though they only managed to sell 18 cars in their first month of operations, they continued to refine and innovate in subsequent months. And today, Cars24 is the leader in the organized used car market with an over 90% market share. They brought in 2,718 crore rupees in revenue in the financial year of 2021 at a loss of 211.3 crore rupees during that same time period. They've been able to sustain these losses thanks to their investors, who have poured $1.3 billion into the startup at a $3.3 billion valuation. Moving on to number 2 now, we have Gurugram-based logistics unicorn Delhivery. Founded by Bhavesh Manglani, Kapil Bharati, Mohit Tandon, Sahil Barua, and Suraj Saharan in 2011, Delhivery is India's leading logistics company with a more than 20% market share in the e-commerce delivery space. But when Delhivery was started, they were just a hyperlocal delivery startup that wanted to help restaurants deliver food quickly. Everything changed though a month after they launched, when an online men's fashion platform called Urban Touch reached out to them, asking Delhivery to help them deliver clothing packages. They decided to give this a try, thinking of it as an alternative smaller source of revenue to keep their delivery staff busy outside of peak food delivery hours. Soon enough though, Delhivery was making more money from the delivery of e-commerce products than of food. In fact, they were taking care of hyper-local e-commerce delivery better than traditional logistics giants. So they decided to become a fully fledged e-commerce logistics startup, and today they're delivering more than 1.5 million orders daily. They brought in revenue to the tune of 3,838 crore rupees in the financial year of 2021, making them bigger than Blue Dart. To achieve this growth, they saw a loss of 415 crore rupees during that same time period, and their investors have poured $1.4 billion into the startup to sustain these losses. Now, Delhivery is gearing up to go public, likely in 2022, seeking a valuation of around $5 billion. And finally, coming in at number 1, we have Gurugram-based hospitality startup Oyo. So when Ritesh Agarwal started Oyo as Oravel Stays back in 2012, he was just a 19-year-old kid who wanted to replicate the success of Airbnb, but in India. This model, though, at the time didn't end up getting as much traction as he had hoped, and so he decided to turn Oyo into a hotel aggregator platform in 2013. He'd partner with budget-friendly hotels and list them on Oyo. This simple yet powerful idea scored Ritesh the Thiel Fellowship in 2013, along with a $100,000 grant. This prompted him to quit college and focus exclusively on Oyo. In 2020, Ritesh was named the world's youngest self-made billionaire after Kylie Jenner, and so far, Oyo's investors have poured $3.1 billion into the startup. Now, the company did face some major struggles during the pandemic, but now they're planning an IPO. They're expected to go public at a valuation of around $9 billion. Alright, that was our list of the top 10 Delhi NCR startups. I really hope that you enjoyed the video, and now a couple of footnotes. Firstly, Zomato, Paytm, and Policybazaar weren't included in this list because they're now publicly traded companies and don't qualify as startups. Secondly, Pine Labs was not included either because we consider them to be too old to qualify as a startup, as they were founded back in the 90s. Thirdly, this list was arranged based on valuation, so there are a lot of startups that simply didn't make it onto the list because they're currently valued at less than $1.1 billion, which is the bar that Rovigo set at number 10. And then fourthly, I know that a lot of the startups that we mentioned on this list were based out of Gurugram, and we didn't get a lot of startups from New Delhi and no startups from Noida or Faridabad or Ghaziabad. So if you want us to cover those places in particular, if you want us to make a separate video about the startups from those parts of Delhi NCR, then just let us know in a comment. And if we see enough comments, if we realize that there's enough demand for such a video, then we'll consider making one. But either way, guys, thank you so much for watching this episode of Backstage with Millionaires, and I will see you in the next one.